It's been half a year since the disaster known as The Acolyte was canceled by Disney and Lucasfilm, and rightly so. It was a monumental disaster. Not only did the audiences absolutely despised it, but no one tuned in to watch. That, on top of its $230+ million price tag, made it an easy decision to call it quits after one season. But even though 90% of people who tuned in thought it was an absolute piece of garbage, a piece of shit, that doesn't mean it doesn't have its fans. It does have its fans. It's dedicated hardcore fans who even today, with pronouns in their bios and trans flags in their bios, all this stuff, they continue to tweet about it and talk about it incessantly. And of course, that starts a lot of arguments online with all the people that absolutely despise the show. But nevertheless, they have not given up hope. Because look, guys, look at this headline. Demand for The Acolyte is sky high despite cancellation. And this new data has led to articles like this and led to Disney Star Wars shills getting their hopes up once again. The Acolyte Season 2. New data suggests Disney should renew Star Wars High Republic series. Lucasfilm may have canceled The Acolyte, but perhaps Season 2 may be in order after all. So what do you mean it's in demand? There's a lot of people watching it right now? No, that's not exactly what this means. But once again, these people will try to spin this any way they can. Here's Star Wars Holocron, always a bastion of bullshit Disney Star Wars propaganda. New data suggests demand is strong for a Season 2 of The Acolyte. Parrot Analytics, who track the most in-demand shows by measuring, get this, interest, engagement, and viewership across social media, streaming sites, and other sources, indicate The Acolyte has demand in the U.S. that's 20.4 times the market average in the last 30 days. So let's talk about Parrot Analytics a little bit. They mentioned some stuff in there, the things that they track. They don't track streaming numbers. They don't track the amount of people who watch something. They track the amount of people that are fucking talking about something, whether positive or negative, that's out there right now. And the fact that you have these websites out there that are desperately trying to convince people that there's a huge, massive demand for Acolyte Season 2, but neglect to really talk about what Parrot Analytics does. Now, we could talk about this. Parrot Analytics, I've got their website. One of their articles they did on Star Wars right here. And I want to show you why Parrot Analytics is not useful to determine if people are actually watching something or not. Okay? This is the demand for Star Wars shows after their release, right? So if the demand equated to people actually watching something or wanting to watch something, well, I suppose you'd see it right in line with the ratings, wouldn't we? But that's not what this is. Parrot Analytics tries to sell itself. It's in demand. What that really means are people are talking about it, whether it's positively or negatively, whether they're mocking it, ridiculing it, whether 95% of people out there are making fun of something. You know, Parrot Analytics only does streaming. If they did just movies that are out in theaters, guess what? Snow White would have like the highest demand possible because everybody's talking about it. Everyone's tweeting about it. Everyone's engaging with it. But no one's going to see it. And that's what plays out with Star Wars, because look at right here. As you can see, upon its release, right? Upon its release, The Acolyte was the most in-demand Star Wars show we've ever seen on Disney+. Yet somehow that didn't equate to ratings, because that's not what this demand actually means. Parrot Analytics is a fucking scam. They try to sell themselves to a lot of streaming platforms to get inside data on this and this. It's bullshit. Look, right there, The Acolyte, that purple line means The Acolyte was more demand, meaning more people talking about it than any other thing that came out. Ahsoka, Mandalorian, Obi-Wan Kenobi. No, The Acolyte was the most in demand. And even as it went on, as you can see, other than the first season of The Mandalorian, The Acolyte was the most talked about thing, the most in-demand thing. Yet it had lower ratings than Ahsoka. It had lower ratings than all the seasons of Mandalorian. Had lower ratings than Obi-Wan Kenobi. Look at old Obi-Wan Kenobi down here. It's at the bottom. But we actually know that Obi-Wan Kenobi set the record for its premiere. So this data does not make sense. So now you have retards dumb fucking people that see this, that are fans of the Acolyte, which, I mean, that's their core audience. Pronouns in bios, people with a bunch of rainbow flags, and people that are not all there mentally, right? That is their core audience for the Acolyte. That's their core fan base at this point. Let's not get it twisted. But, I mean, you look at this ridiculous stuff from Collider, and Collider were some of the ones that were gaslighting these dumb fans to begin with. This is from when Acolyte was coming out. The Acolyte continues to dominate the streaming charts. No, it didn't. The Acolyte was a miserable failure when it came to viewership. Oh, but what's Collider using? They're using the real good streaming charts, which, similar to Parrot Analytics, it's about how much people are talking about something, not how much people are actually watching something. And that can be positive, that can be negative. It doesn't matter. They count it as a in demand. That's what they count it as. And if you want me to show you just straight up why this is bullshit, I'll do it right now. Here's the Real Good, right? This is from Real Good. The Real Good, top 10 streaming movies and shows right now. This is the charts that the Acolyte was dominating. As you can see, some stuff there you're probably familiar with. Severance, White Lotus, Anora, Electric State, Adolescence, Heretic, Long Bright River, Reacher, Kraven the Hunter, Paradise. The problem is, this doesn't equate to what's actually going on. These are the viewership numbers over the same period of time. Adolescence dominating the streaming charts on Netflix. It's down here at number 5 on Real Good. 1923, just behind Adolescence. 1.4 billion minutes watched on Paramount. Nowhere to be found. Do you know why? Because that is a general older audience that aren't fucking tweeting incessantly about something. And sites like Parrot Analytics and Real Good do not measure actual numbers from what people are watching. They just measure across social media and what people are talking about. But we can keep going, right? Severance was number 1 on that list. Severance for Apple TV Plus is down there at the 10th most watched streaming show right now. And that might be solid for Apple TV, who doesn't have a ton of actual subscribers, but they have it as number 1. What about the Electric State and Anora? Anora's being talked about a lot, isn't it? It's not being watched. Electric State dominating the streaming rating, despite the fact that it didn't get nearly the views that Netflix wanted. It's a massive flop, $320 million. Anora's not on here. It might be being talked about, but it's not being watched. That's exactly what happened for the Acolyte. And now, because a bunch of these fucking losers who are sad because it got canceled or they desperately want a season 2, they continue to tweet and talk about it every fucking day, but they talk about it amongst themselves all the time. It looks like it's in demand. It's not in demand. Nobody wants this bullshit, and Disney's not bringing it back. But it's just another part of the Acolyte saga. The people out there that were so happy. And look, Collider told me it's dominating the streaming charts. Now Collider's telling me there's demand, that it's sky high for the demand of season 2. It's because they're using bullshit numbers. And you people are too fucking stupid to understand that, which isn't a surprise because you found the Acolyte to be particularly compelling. Because guess what? The demand was sky high for it when it was out, when it was being released, and no one was fucking watching. Same thing would happen if they renewed it for a season 2, which, hey, it'd give me more stuff to make fun of, so I guess I'd be okay with it. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.